Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. Well, I went out, I played pool, and I watched bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Pro Bowl. I mean, it wasn't the Pro Bowl. It was the
Preseason game.
No, it wasn't the preseason game. It was the
Hall of Fame game.
Yeah,
Yes, Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I tried to watch it because I was so excited. I'm like, oh, there's a football game on.
Yeah.
But it is hard to watch when you don't have your main players there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did see a bit of Zach Wilson, which was
Nice.
nice. I mean, he did okay. I mean, he won.
Yeah.
They won.
Yeah. We saw Aaron Rodgers on the sideline.
We did see him on the sidelines, yeah. And there's games. I don't know if there's games this week, but next week I think there's a couple more games,
Hard Knocks
right?
starts next week, I think.
Yeah, Hard Knocks. Well, this week.
This week starts soon. Yeah.
Starts soon, yeah. So excited to see that.
I know.
Yeah,
That's probably why Aaron Rodgers was doing his interviews on the side.
And I'm sure that's why they probably had the first game or the game of that Hall of Fame game. Yeah.
Of course.
So they could air it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it'll be fun and scary. I don't know, to see Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
With a different team.
I know.
After being how many years with the Green Bay Packers?
God, like 10 or 12 or something.
A ridiculous time.
Probably at least 12, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been there a while. He had been there a while. So to see him with a whole new system. Okay, well, I mean, actually, is it really a whole new system?
Yeah, because you said that he's got all of his, like, well, not all, but like several people have
He
carried
brought
over.
Lazard, Cobb,
Yeah.
the coach.
The coach. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So if he doesn't succeed now,
and he's got receivers as well, like besides Lazard, but
oh yeah, he has Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson is an amazing receiver. Yeah. So if he doesn't make it now, then it might be time to throw in the towel.
Yeah, you think you think he has a comeback today? I mean, this season.
I mean, if he doesn't, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it would be sad.
I think he. I don't know.
I think he has a comeback.
I think he might.
I don't know if he makes it to the Super Bowl, but I think he definitely has a
exactly.
comeback
I definitely don't think he makes it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think he has a decent comeback. I don't think he takes it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Jets also.
Yeah. I mean, their defense was pretty great last year. Yeah, last year was pretty great. A big improvement from the previous years.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I think it was you who had asked me about if I think he would continue playing like as many years as Brady did.
Was he trying to pull a Brady?
If he's trying to pull a Brady. And I think if he does well this year,
he might try.
He might try to surpass Brady.
Yeah, I didn't realize until we looked it up earlier that he's 39. I thought he was already like 41.
No, he's 39.
Yeah, he's still got 6 more years to make it to Brady status.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I mean, not to be rude, but he kind of looks old for 39.
Well, a lot of these guys look so much older than their age.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's getting up there. He's already going to be 40 next year. And a lot of these quarterbacks, I mean,
age out
up until Brady, I don't think a lot of them have made it past 40, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah, I guess this is kind of a defining year for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whether he makes it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or not.
Yeah.
Whether that dark era in his life helped or not.
Oh, yeah, the going dark.
Going dark, yeah. Yeah, if it was really introspective and it pulled out
the quarterback.
The quarterback in him, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? I think that's really fucking cool that that you can literally, it's like the open secret that you literally go away for a week and everybody knows that you're like doing
drugs in a different country.
Yeah, exactly. And that just, it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. Well, I'm sure if it pans out for him this year, a lot of quarterbacks will be heading to Peru.
Going dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of these quarterbacks who need help.
And myself.
Yeah, I'll catch you there, right?
Yeah, I'll be doing it right before fantasy football. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens out of this.
Speaking of right before fantasy football, have you ever watched the show The League?
No, I keep hearing about it, and I need to get in. I mean, it's been years now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the players. I mean, a lot of those players that are on the show are not playing anymore, so it's like a little bit outdated. But it doesn't matter. The show is so funny, and some of the stuff that they do is so real that it's really funny.
So did you watch it even though you weren't in fantasy football?
I watched it when I was anti-football.
Oh wow! And you still enjoyed it.
Hilarious. Just the shit that they do to each other is really hilarious. And now that I enjoy football and love fantasy football, it's like 10 times funnier.
because you understand now what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I have to start watching it. Yeah, because I'm trying to get into anything football now.
Wait, so speaking of anything football, you're commissioner this year.
I think I might be. Yeah.
Okay.
We have to see if the commissioner who was the commissioner last year gives me the reins.
And you think he is?
I think so, but we'll find out in a few weeks once we start drafting, which I heard that you want to try to push towards the very end. Almost once the season starts.
Yes.
Because there are so many players getting injured right now.
Yes, yeah.
Cooper Kupp just got injured. Something with his hamstring.
Kamara's out.
Kamara's out for 3 games, right?
3 games,
suspended. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you kind of push it to the very end. At least that way you know what players are going to perform at the beginning, which might not.
Get those injuries out of the way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or any new injuries that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or anybody who's got Kamara stuff.
Yeah, because everything's happening with these. So many players are getting injured right now that you don't know who's. Burrow got injured too.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's beginning the season 100% and who's not starting at 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You guys are drafting. Do you guys draft towards the beginning or the end?
Like almost the last day.
I mean, not the beginning, but
yeah, almost the last, right? Like the day before football starts.
I used to hate that because I'd be like, I'm so anxious. I want to already like get this started, get my draft, my roster ready. Now, my fifth year, I've realized that it's best to wait till almost the very, very end.
I was annoyed too. I equally was annoyed too. I felt like I was less important because the league is like the side league. Yeah. My league is the side league, but I felt like I was less important or
they're forgetting about you.
Yeah, exactly. But actually now that I think about it, that's a bonus. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It works out. Yeah. So do they draft before then?
Yeah, so they pick their day. It's a big deal. They'll pick a Friday or a Saturday or whatever. They'll plan it out and it's a big deal. I'm the side league.
Nice. So you don't get the same respect.
I mean, I think I've said this before that my league is called the Easy Money League.
That is true.
Yeah. Trying to swindle us.
Which is interesting because he named it, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But has he won in that league?
He has won.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But last season, I got 3rd and he got 4th.
So he's going.
It's
a downhill battle now.
Yeah. This year's gonna.
I mean, an uphill battle.
It's uphill for him now.
Yeah, not downhill.
Oh,
well, I mean, it's still going downhill
He's
for him.
Going downhill.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah. But they wait till he focuses on his league, that his main leagues with his friends, and then my league gets
pushed back.
Yeah.
How much sooner before the season starts do they draft?
It's usually within the week.
Oh, okay, so it's not that much sooner.
No. It's days apart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to freak out because I'd be like, oh my God, we're not drafting. It's getting so close. What are we waiting for? And now being a veteran.
Yes.
In this.
Yeah, and 2-time champion.
I understand now why we wait till almost the very end.
Yeah.
You want to make sure all the players are 100% once the season starts. Yeah. And so many are getting injured right now that it seems like half of them won't be ready by the time the season starts.
Yeah, it's better to draft later than earlier because, these guys are in training camp. You're just getting injured.
Yeah, and you sent me a video about Diggs with Prescott getting into it. Well, not Prescott. It was more Diggs kind of going off, calling him a little bitch.
Yeah.
Which I found astonishing because I didn't realize you could talk to your quarterbacks like that.
Yeah, that's maybe why that video was posted because he was disrespecting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did see the comments where they're like, well, if you don't play football, if you don't know football, this is common, blah, blah, blah. But didn't Crosby just have to run laps for talking back to his quarterback?
Yeah. And I think that the commentary behind that was you can't get chippy with the quarterback now all of a sudden. Okay, fine, it's one thing to attack physically, whatever, hurt or whatever, go after.
But words?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, so it's wow, you're really setting a different kind of precedent.
Unless each team has a different set of rules for their quarterbacks.
Yeah, and then to that point, Russell Wilson last year, I think that was the big thing because. Sorry, I'm just remembering all the ways the other players made fun of him.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot. Yeah.
But there was a lot of commentary about him being quarterback and his team not being behind him.
Oh yeah.
And then there was a lot of talk about okay, fine, if you're upset with your quarterback, you're upset with your quarterback. you don't show that publicly.
Yeah, you don't. That's what I would think.
Yeah, and then you would see his his teammates yelling at him on the sidelines.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And getting attention. So you leave that behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. But, training camp is meant to be kind of behind closed doors.
Well, and it's the team going against each other because you have your defense going against your offense. So it's going to get competitive. Mm-hmm. Words are going to be exchanged. I just hadn't noticed it happening with the quarterback.
What do you think is more important, defense or offense?
I think they're equally important.
If you had to choose one.
If I had to choose, probably the offense.
Yeah.
Because if you can't make touchdowns, then how do you win?
Yes. Okay. I love this question. I love this question.
What do you think?
I think defense is more important. Because when you're practicing as a team, you're practicing within your team. And your offense is only as good as your
Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, so you mean overall, not just during the game.
Yes. Overall, in terms of, the team. In terms of
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think your offense can only be as good as your defense. Yeah. And your defense has to be spectacular so that your offense knows how to... Because if your offense is great with a bad defense...
Oh, yeah.
Then the defense isn't pushing the offense to know how to run routes or get across things or whatever. They're not pushing their offense. And like they say, iron sharpens iron. Yes.
So if your defense isn't great, how are you going to make your offense better?
Right. Yeah.
When they're not
So if you have a great team with a bad defense and you encounter a great team with a great defense, now you got this soft offense going up against spectacular defense, and they're not able to even run a route to get... Yeah.
So, I guess you're right. So then defense might be more important because if the defense is great...
Yeah.
It makes the offense better.
Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah.
Although I feel like with the Broncos last year, their defense was pretty great.
Yeah.
It was their offense that sucked. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I think maybe that was the problem with either the coaching or with their quarterback.
Because I know the defense was pretty great. And it sucks because you could see them playing their heart out, but the offense was just not there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And I know with the Vikings also, their offense was
really good.
Yeah. Was pretty great. And their defense was not up to par with the offense. Yeah.
So what do you think you're going to do differently this year when you're drafting?
So I know so much more about players now.
Yeah.
The previous seasons, especially last season, I knew a little bit more, but not as much as I know now. So now which also makes it more confusing, right?
Yeah, it does.
Because you're like, do I draft this guy? Do I draft this guy? Because you know more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been trying to hear a lot more podcasts to get more informed. Mm-hmm. I think I'm just going to base it on where players are being drafted. So ideally, I guess in each round, depending on the value of each player that's in that round, I'll be drafting. So I can't say...
Is that going to be the ADP?
Kind of, the ADP. So if I can't say that I'll draft, like I was hearing today with one of the podcasts saying with Kittle, he's going, I think, in the 5th round. Uh-huh. But you have other players like Amon St. Brown.
Oh, he's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, and other players and I can't remember right now.
He's still supposed to be good, yeah.
Do you want to draft Kittle instead of getting a really good maybe wide receiver, running back, where Kittle, he's with the 49ers, he's like the 5th guy. Mm-hmm. Because first it's Debo.
Yeah.
Then it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Then it's Ayuk.
Yeah.
So he's actually the 4th guy. And then it's Kittle.
Yeah.
So even though he might be one of the best tight ends, but he might not match the value in that round.
In that team even. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to kind of match, which I'm understanding now. You kind of match the value of the player in that round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And if there's other players that are better, then like if you need a quarterback, but in your 4th round, there's not, like you can maybe wait another round to get a quarterback and get a better wide receiver running back, then you do that instead of, and that's what I'm learning this year.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to draft 2 quarterbacks again?
Oh yeah, just because I like to have my backups.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't get a number 1 quarterback.
Yeah.
I get a middle quarterback. I like to have 2 okay quarterbacks. That way, in case one does get injured or one ends up performing better than what they're expected.
Yeah, and that served you well last year, didn't it?
Because Prescott got injured.
Yeah.
Like the first game.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I hope she's not watching this, but this friend that I hang out with, I've noticed every time I watch a Cowboys game with her, Prescott gets injured. It's those primetime games. So the first game that I watched with her, I was like, okay, let's go watch the Cowboys game. And that was when this is the year that I lost. That's when he got his Achilles ankle injured, like that bad injury.
Yeah.
I lost that year. And then it's so funny because the first game that we went to go watch last year first game was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he got injured. So I feel like she's my bad luck charm.
Oh no.
I can't tell her that.
Yeah.
Don't watch. But I feel like I can't watch games with her, especially involving the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Because I feel like if they're in my roster and I'm watching that game with her, Dak is going down.
Yeah, Dak is going down.
Dak is going down.
Well, number one, don't watch football with her.
No, I've learned my lesson. I'm like, okay, it's happened 2 years now. Every time I've watched a primetime Cowboys game with her, I'm not doing it again.
Were you a baseball fan before this?
Baseball, not really. I mean, I'll go for the Dodgers because of the city we're in, my family, but not a huge fan.
Because like baseball's like super
yes,
It's like, did you bring that superstitious over to?
No, I just started noticing it, and also I would wear a shirt that I have that says Prescott for it while I'm watching those games with her, and I was like, okay, I can't do both anymore. I can't.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I had that last year where I think I would do something. I forgot what it was. Either I'd like watch or not watch or something, and I like was trying to figure out like
what is it, right?
What is it? Yeah, definitely.
Did I change my underwear?
Yeah.
My socks?
Yeah.
What was it?
Wore the jersey? Didn't wear the jersey?
Yeah, exactly.
Jersey,
yeah.
That jersey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we have this like necklace that we got from the Raiders game in Oakland.
In Oakland.
In Oakland, right before they left.
Yeah.
So that was like the good luck charm. But then it was the bad luck charm. And then it was the good luck charm.
Yeah.
And then we don't know what it is now.
Yeah. You become superstitious once you're like...
Yeah.
Once you start playing and you want your players to win or your team.
Yeah.
You start noticing little details and like, what am I doing different? What's going on? Yeah.
As if it's even up to us.
Yeah, right? Like, like we're in this game. Me
wearing this necklace
it's going to help you guys win. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
But so how are you doing anything different this draft season?
Yes, so I think this season I'm definitely going to research more. Last season I got really into Rotoballer, which was really helpful, but I got into that after I drafted. I did a little bit of research before the draft, and that's how I got really onto Pacheco, and I'm a girl, I'm being a girly girl. So
we get emotional with these players, attachments.
I heard his story, and I was like, I'm drafting him. I mean, he should have never played, but he got his, the guys ahead of him got injured.
And he got up. But it makes you kind of doesn't it make you want to keep him in your roster every year, even though you're like, okay, but do I really want to draft him?
Oh yeah, no.
But he needs to be a part of this team,
he's
right?
He is my team.
Yeah. And it sucks just to imagine him being with someone else.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No, he's mine.
It's like, like, don't you dare. Like, you belong with me.
No. He's mine. Yeah. I support him through and through. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to do some more research. I'm definitely going to... I'm going to try to pay attention to numbers, because I don't think I've ever done that before. Because I think previously, I looked at ADP, I did research, and I said, who are the top, like you sent me Instagram posts where it's like, these are the top quarterbacks, these are the top running backs, these are the top...
the guys you want to go after.
Yeah, exactly. But like, when you're in a 12-man league, like those guys...
go quickly.
Yeah, they're gone. And so like, what about number 20? Well, actually number 20 is on there, on the list that we... Yeah.
And you can find up to 100, but once you're there and the clock is clicking, the time is ticking.
Yeah,
you get nervous.
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god, who do I draft?
You have like 1 minute.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
So you don't have enough time to. Okay, let me do the quick.
No. Research. There's no time to research. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, like somebody can research, but like
we're a little slower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you draft, we both do Yahoo Sports, right?
Yeah.
When you draft, there's that little. Also, I just have to really complain to Yahoo that their draft website
sucks.
it's gross.
Yeah, it's not
gross.
appealing at all.
It's gross.
No.
I don't think it's user friendly. The amount of ads that are on that page is disgusting. And the thing that bugs me the most is that little box on the top right corner where you pick your players.
Yes, the queue.
Yes, yeah. So, like, do you put players that you...
So, I used to not do it, but because now at least I know who I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So, I'll put them there just so I at least know this is the player I want to go after if it's my turn and he's still available.
Yeah. So, what do you do? Let's say, for example, you have, like, 15 players that you put in your little...
Oh, I don't put that many.
Oh, how many do you put?
I just put maybe like 3, 2.
Oh,
no, I keep it really small because so I use it just in case I can't think of anyone next I want to draft. But usually if I'm like right on it. So if I see players being drafted that I wanted, I'll start doing a quick search at that point. I'll be like, okay, who's next? And then I'll add them there. That way I just keep remembering this guy. And I don't always go by the queue. I might, depending on, maybe I thought a guy was going to be drafted and he's not drafted, then I'll pick him up. But I try to keep it small so I can see it visually and remember like who, So you do 50, you put all your players in there?
Not all my players, but I'll definitely probably put like 8 to 10 of like the people that like last season I put Pacheco in there and I put like my quarterback. I put like I definitely put my top like 8 to 10 in there. So I know who I want.
But then you keep it? Do you move it around? So once you start the draft, you put your top, let's say 10, your top 10 there? And do you move it at all? Or do you just wait till those 10 are done and then you add more to it?
Do I move it at all? So, I mean, as they get taken by either myself or somebody else.
But maybe later on in the draft, you already have 3 wide receivers, and the next best guy is a wide receiver, but you need a running back. So what's left and you don't want to get another wide receiver when you need a running back.
Exactly. What do you do when the players that you really wanted are gone? Do you use the ADP?
If I really like, and this usually happens later in the draft, like 9th, 10th round, when I'm like done and I don't know who else. And this was previous seasons. Also, I'm a bit more informed now. I know more about rookies. But usually towards the end, you're picking out more of those rookies who you're hoping will be breakout stars.
Yeah.
Then I didn't know much about them. So then at that point, I would just let whatever guy was next be on my roster. Yeah. Whereas now I'm like, okay, I know more about this guy, and teams especially. Because you want the teams. You don't want a sucky team. You don't want to play on a sucky team because it means less touchdowns, less chance of them scoring.
Right. Yeah.
So especially if it's, now we know more about backups and all of that. So running backs, who their backups are, you want to get those guys just in case their main guys get injured. Then you know that backup's going in. And he'll probably be the main guy for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know more about that now. So I think I'll be focusing more on that now. Whereas before I would just be like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure who this guy is. Don't know. I'll just choose the next best guy.
Yeah. And that's something I didn't think about last year that I know that I'm going to think about this year, where like, somebody helped me do my draft my first year and chose Lamar Jackson. Did me a solid. But, I didn't know why. Because he's a running quarterback. And now I'm thinking about the whole team situation. Like, is this quarterback going to be a running quarterback? Is he going to be a passing quarterback? Is he going to be a running back quarterback?
Exactly.
Which I didn't think about. I don't think I thought about those things before. I just thought about numbers or who's ahead or who's top 10, who's top 20. And
well, even like with running backs, you want to make sure, like, it's usually better to get running backs who are pass catchers also, because if they just run the ball, there's no chance of them really catching the ball. Like if Pollard, who can also be used as a pass catcher and who runs the ball, it works sometimes more in the favor because they'll be using them probably maybe a little bit more than if you're just a run guy.
Yeah, exactly. Or exactly. Same as quarterback.
And it's the same with the quarterback. Yeah. Also, like if the quarterback runs, you might not be so inclined to draft the running back because you know that the quarterback's probably going to be stealing those touchdowns if they're at the 1 yard line. It'll be a quarterback sneak.
Right. Exactly. And then you might have like a really good running back working for a really good quarterback who runs the ball. So now
he probably won't be used as much.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need to be used as much. Yeah.
So there's all these factors that we didn't take into account before. Where now we're like, okay, we need to pay attention to all of these things.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot we're learning.
Yeah.
And we're getting there.
Yeah, I know and it's amazing to be like, are we 5th year in or 4th year in?
I feel like this is our 5th year.
5th year, yeah.
Gosh. We're veterans at this point, Bindi.
Yeah, because we said, can you believe it's been 4 years? Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's good. This is our 5th year. Lucky number 5.
Lucky number 5.
Yeah.
Is 5 lucky?
I don't know.
Okay. I was like, let's hope it is. It would suck if we came in last place.
I know.
After getting
all this,
so cocky with all of this.
But that would be the luck of fantasy football.
That would be, because you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to think strategy does play into it.
Yeah.
And we know our strategy's not better now, but you never know.
I mean, players get injured.
Yeah. I mean, constantly. Yeah.
Dak Prescott. I mean, first game.
Yeah. And I had Kirk Cousins, who wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But he did okay.
Oh, but he's such a nice guy.
Such a nice guy. How can you hate a good Christian man?
Yeah, I know. How could you? Not that guy.
Not that guy, yeah.
No.
You like that?
You like that.
You like that?
You like that.
So funny. Bindi, so will you be drinking this draft season?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? You know, every single draft that I've ever had, I have gotten drunk. Every single one. And then I make emotional decisions. Last season was the worst.
I've heard.
Yeah. Last season was the worst. I made some really bad decisions. What did I draft? Like 3 or 4 Raiders.
You guys, do not draft three, especially not 4 players from one team. Yeah. Because if that team sucks, your whole roster's going to suck.
I don't know how I got 3rd place.
I really don't know either.
I don't know how I got 3rd place. That was by some miracle.
Yeah.
Especially having drafted that many Raiders. That was such a mistake, and I just made it by the skin of my teeth or something. That was terrible.
Well, it was probably also the moves you made afterwards that helped you, right?
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Yes, it was some of the moves. Oddly enough, I didn't drop the Raiders early. I dropped
because you had the defense.
I had the defense, and I had the kicker, and I had the quarterback, and then I had Renfro.
The wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was...
Wait, didn't you even have Waller?
No, I didn't have Waller.
Okay.
Yeah, no, trust me. He was on my list. He was on my list. And
you just wanted to add the whole roster to your roster.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted...
Transfer.
Yeah. I got really Raider happy. It was really stupid. Just very dumb. Yeah, I don't know how I got 3rd place. But this year, yes, the alcohol will probably still be there.
Yeah, I mean, when you're drafting, it kind of has to be there.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to try to not be emotional.
But this year will be fun. I'm excited to see who you draft.
Yeah, same.
I'm excited to find out who I draft.
Yeah, I know, because you don't know, right?
Don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll be sharing that once we draft. But it probably won't happen for maybe 3 more weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
2 more weeks.
Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, Hard Knocks is starting.
Hard Knocks is happening this week.
Yeah.
Then we have another, I think,
preseason games.
More preseason games, right, with different teams.
I know, it's here.
It's happening. We're so excited, and you guys should stay tuned weekly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see our draft.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
And when we finally get something to talk about.
I know.
Because I feel like right now we don't have much.
Well, like it's like the podcast that I was listening to today. Like, well, preseason's great, but like it's way more fun to see the players we actually want to see. Yeah.
And it gets so close that you can feel it already, but you're not there.
Yeah. So many teasers.
Yeah.
So many teasers.
Yeah. So hope you guys follow,
like,
and subscribe.
See you next time.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.